Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Taylor, and I am the advocate of the devil. The internet is arguably the fastest growing, most necessary to our lives invention in the last 2 decades. Very least in my own lifetime, and with it comes plenty of growing pains. Media outlets have attacked many forms of the internet, but one in particular is the social medias. The Facebooks and the Twitters, people spending too much time sharing pictures of what they eat, but not actually eating it. People who would rather stare down at their phones instead of the people right beside them. The internet was supposed to set us free, give us unlimited access to all the information and all the people in all the world. Instead, we get cat videos, pranks that fall short, people who abuse other people for fun, and whatever the hell the GameFAQs message boards look like now. Probably all of those things at once. The point is, for all its bells and whistles, for all the supposed good that things like social media could do for us, it really is just a huge hassle. A waste of time, right? Wrong! Here's the thing. Like many things in the world, it isn't the thing itself, but the users that either make or break it. And today, social media gets put under the defense microscope. This first aspect I'm going to be bringing up may seem a tad on the strange side. After all, I'm a man of many words. Too many words. Ask Dan sometimes, the amount of letters in a single paragraph is almost laughably large in number. Makes working off a teleprompter absolutely necessary. And yet, here I am about to spout off the positive parts of Twitter.
Nothing good will come of this.
Hang on, there's a good explanation for this. See, anyone who has had the pleasure of my company would be able to tell you that at first, the idea of Twitter appalled me. After all, if you can state your opinion in 140 characters, it's not much of an opinion, is it? Then you get the people out there who really shouldn't even have a Twitter account. All the power, none of the responsibility. Or at least no accountability. It's kind of a mess, huh? But then I started seeing other things. People that I actually respect keeping up with their fans. That is one of the many positive things we can say about the internet in general. The connectivity between us normal folk and other well-meaning people. Sure, the super rich and famous are probably not communicating directly with us. They have assistants for exactly that reason. But the mid-tier guys, the comedians and certain actors, the ones that when they started getting paid it didn't go to their heads, and the ability for us as fans to speak directly to them is unparalleled. Even if it's just to say thank you for the entertainment. Speaking of comedy, there's actually a good point in Twitter's favor as well. I've always said that with greater restriction comes greater need for creativity. You need to accomplish the same thing with less, and Twitter has the smallest word count per post out there. But you don't need 1,000 words for a joke. Or a pun. I love me some lame humor, quite possibly far more than I should for a man my age. In fact, keep watching and you may find an episode here completely done in rhyme. Don't look at me. That's not a crime. I'll make the time. And it will be sublime.
Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
Then there are things that truly put the social in social media. The kind of things that really, truly bring communities together. Reddit. Ask my roommates and they'll tell you, then I need to shut up. Ask them about what I originally thought of Reddit, and they'll tell you that I would never have joined that cult if they bribed me with chocolate and a ride in its van. Of course, all of this said while never actually being on the site for 1 second. Don't knock it until you try it, folks. What I found when I finally caved and looked was a thriving community. Several 100,000 thriving communities for just about anything and everything you can think of. Like Marvel movies? There's a subreddit for that. Prefer DC? There's a subreddit for that. Final Fantasy, Silent Hill, writing prompts, everybody gets a subreddit. The beauty of bringing people together should be obvious. Everyone likes to feel validated.
You love me! You really love me!
That they matter, and that the things that they believe are right. Finding other people who agree with your own viewpoint is wonderful. It's also incredibly naive to think that everyone thinks the same as you do. 7 billion people on the planet, so essentially 7 billion different points of view, or at least adjustments to those thoughts. That's the secondary benefit to Reddit. Going on purpose to see viewpoints that aren't yours. As stated before on this show, Big Brother Google is always watching. We're in our own little world, filled with things we already know that we enjoy. Go on Spotify and there are options for more like this, or things that you'd enjoy. Basically more of the same. I long for, now here's something completely different in my playlists and videos.
And now for something completely different.
Alas, the way the algorithm is designed, it's to show you things that you already know you like. One can dream. Maybe in the future. But for now, it's the present. And in the present, one cannot even think of the term social media without the biggest one in the land. The Facebook. The big kahuna.
Royale with cheese.
Hell, with all the pictures, rants, funny jokes, unfunny jokes, and everything in between, this is where most of the ire stems from. Teenagers who can't look away from their phones for 2 seconds because they need to hit like on that political post and then share it, and then make sure that everyone else knows that that is what you think. Don't worry, I get that I'm a hypocrite by mocking this while simultaneously doing all these things. LOL.
I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you.
But there is one thing that is a great positive in all that sea of bleh, and that is being able to stay in touch with everyone. That uncle you only see once a decade, you can send him a message whenever you want, because we're all on Facebook. Chances are, he's there too. Those 2 friends from high school that didn't totally suck, they are just a quick message away. And it works over distance since it's powered by the internet. Very early on in our show, I mentioned the fact that I was in a long-distance relationship. The reason why we were able to keep it going was because of the power of social media, of being able to find new ways of messaging each other. Facebook was a big part of that, of staying in contact with one another until we could actually be together. Hell, the whole thing started with a random question that she had asked me on Facebook Messenger. Without social media, we might never have even started. Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, I do hope I managed to shed some light into the positive aspects of social media. Whether it be in the sense of community it brings, the sheer and utter magnitude of its reach, or its potential for quick bits of fun, social media is everywhere. And with the very power of another necessity, the cell phone, it's accessible at any time as well. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with everything we have going on here at Devious Advocacy. And click the link in the description below to join our Discord channel. Yet another piece of social media goodness. But there is no greater good than the good of generosity. Specifically that of our patrons who keep supporting us each and every month. Lastly, but definitely most importantly, let us know in the comments below what you think. After all, without you guys, we wouldn't even have a show to keep spouting off our opinions. So tell us, is that a good or a bad thing? By all means, let your own views clash with my own, so that I may proceed to prove you wrong.
I drink, and I know things.
But for now, in the case of social media, the defense rests.
Let him down. I'm sorry, but he's going to find us in less than a minute. Should we abort?
No, we've only got 2 of the blinky boxes left to go.
Ooh, blinky boxes.
Just hack.
See, reality is a hell of a lot better than what was portrayed in the 90s. Aren't you glad we aren't that lame? Hopefully.